why would the government try to hide the reality of UFOs, as they have for decades? They understood we have off-world visitors coming here, using this high technology energy. We can imagine why they might lie about it. It's a technological advantage, military applications. But what are some of the other reasons that you see for this?
Social and political control. I mean, it's political control 101. Information control. Those who control the information flow have their hand on the lever of power. Why do these aliens go skulking around the shadows? Most of them, the evidence suggests they've cut deals. Why do any espionage agents go skulking about in the shadows? Because they're wheeling and dealing in secret. That's espionage 101. Control of information, control of personnel, control of institutional or organizational assets. You keep a tight lid on it, and that's your answer right there. When you're dealing with other species coming from other planets, or even from another space-time continuum altogether, maybe from another dimension, or another realm where the laws of physics has developed, and then you encounter that species in their technology and their culture and their mode of thought, their way of reasoning, their way of communicating. It could literally be mind-bending, could be very difficult to integrate psychologically and mentally. I think that they do have operational so-called UFO technology, but it's being used, they being the military agencies. And I believe they've made a lot of progress in the last half century, and they've kept the vast majority of it classified. When you start working with these technologies that bend time, if you will, and or bend space, if you will, the reality veils start to part. The veils of reality between dimensions, the veils of reality between different modes of perception, the veils of reality may be between literally other physical universes. And I think what happens is that you mentally and also optically, physically, begin to perceive quite a lot of things that the ordinary person doesn't in the course of their everyday life. There are thousands and thousands, unknown thousands of cases of so-called aliens or extraterrestrials, very much, so to speak, manifesting themselves to ordinary people. You see, they're different groups. And the ones who've cut deals with the major governments, for example, and military and espionage agencies, do have a hierarchical command or organizational structure. But the evidence suggests there are other groups for whom that means nothing. And so they, therefore, to them to talk to the president is meaningless. For them, they would say, who is this guy? He's corrupt, he's incompetent, he's dishonest, he's not very intelligent, so why would I waste my time? And the answer they would immediately have is, I wouldn't waste my time. So I'll look for someone who is honest, intellectually curious, who's competent, and then that might turn out to be a 15-year-old girl in China. They would appear to her, and she might be out working in a rice field, right? But for them, she might be 1,000 times more interesting to them than a pathological liar such as Barack Obama. They might regard him as a criminally insane doofus. When aliens come, and I'm not talking about the malevolent ones with a militaristic conquest and exploitation mentality, but the other ones with a higher level of spiritual realization, when they come, the people who will interest them will be people who are advanced as human beings. They wouldn't have the slightest interest in talking to a Henry Kissinger or a George Soros, or a Bill Gates, or a Angela Merkel. There are ET beings and races who are very technically clever, but also have an advanced consciousness, very advanced consciousness, almost godlike in some respects. There are other ETs that are very technically clever, but they have a very low level of consciousness. And both of them, the evidence suggests that both types are here on Earth. I know it's essential to explore and advance consciousness. That is the purpose of a human being, to be conscious, to explore consciousness.